Is that pronounced chemo?
Yeah, it's a hard K sound. Hey folks, it is October the 5th, and we are ending the last third of chapter 12 out of our book, and that has to do with the lead up to the Peloponnesian War. So we're going to see just why Athens and Sparta didn't like each other that much, and they would go into a civil war type scenario. And the terms on the board we have are Aristides, Delian League, Chemon, Sparta's revolt, and Athens' rise to power. And one important point for you, if you are missing any work, make sure you get it in, because this week and next week are the last 2 weeks that pertain to your report card, and the grades will lock. So if you get a 0, no one can fix that 0. You're going to have a bad grade, and then you're going to have a bad day probably. Your GPA goes down.
I'm going to cry.
He's going to cry. Come back to your seat before you cry, though. And I need you to take your hoodie off. That's too bad. Come on. All right. So I only got a couple of images up for the board or the projector today. So yeah, this is a bust of Chemon. Chemon was he is a patriotic Athenian, and at the same time, he was very friendly with the Spartans. You could say he was like the last chance that Athens and Sparta had to patch things up.
Oh, and then he was ostracized.
But yeah, the thing is, Sparta wound up not trusting him because they were scared of him. And Athens was very, very upset because they blamed him for this embarrassment regarding Sparta. This is what's left of some of the ruins at the island of Delos.
Derpy.
Yeah, so
That's what I look up. That's what I look like when I first wake up. I'm trying to yell.
Yeah, well, here's the thing.
They're trying to
They used to be very nice looking marble lions. What do you think messed them up?
Earthquake.
Water, yeah.
Wind.
Oh, water. One of them broke off.
It looks like erosion and stuff, yeah.
How do they know what lions look like? Because lions don't live in Greece.
They don't. You're right. Now there's not
That's
since
probably why they look like that.
They
not
also don't
since
live in Africa
prehistoric times did they have like kind of like how we used to have saber-toothed tigers. Did they have giant hunting cats like that? However, Greeks often did go to North Africa, and so I know that you won't find lions like in Egypt naturally. However, Egyptians would still bring them in, wealthy Egyptians and stuff like that.
This cat is special.
Well, yeah, and especially like big, fierce hunting ones. Yes, sir. So, and the thing is about Delos is this island would act as kind of like a neutral ground where all the Greeks were supposed to get together and make this alliance to fight the Persians and ward off pirates and things like that. And they're also going to keep all the money that's supposed to fund this defensive league. Like a league is when you have an agreement of friends who are going to protect each other, right? We're going to see that Athens is going to slowly take control of it, and then they're going to take all the cash for themselves. They're going to start being really mean to the other members of the league. So it's going to become an empire for Athens. These Attica right here, of course, that's Athens. But all of these yellow-colored areas are going to be part of the Athenian League, the Athenian Empire. And you're going to see over here, here's Sparta and their allies. This is the Peloponnesian.
That's that territory of allied city-states.
Yeah, but it's kind of fuzzy. It's like a low-resolution picture, so it's kind of hard to read. Even like right here.
Same thing with an Android.
I don't know. I found it on Google.
That's taken with an Android too.
Unless it's a $30 one.
Unless it's
Or $60 actually.
Hey, in any case, so let's go ahead and get our terms down for the day. So, hey, Jaden, what do you remember about Aristides? Like, as far as you read
He
it?
got, what's it called?
He can fight.
Yeah, I'm trying to ostracize.
He got ostracized.
Or was that the
Yeah.
wrong person?
He wanted
Yes.
to build an army.
No,
That's right.
Anyway, but he died.
He did die.
Oh, wow.
And yes,
Wow.
so he died. He wanted to make Athens stronger, but the focus kind of wasn't on the army.
It was like government.
What's for
It's
lunch?
government.
Well,
Wait. None of y'all looked and saw what was on lunch menu today?
No.
Nobody remembers?
Even though I went to the
Pizza dippers.
cafeteria. Pizza? Oh, actually, pizza dippers is probably one of the better.
Okay, well, when she comes back, we're gonna ask her. So he's going to help Athens form something. What are they gonna form with
The
the
Delian League.
Delian League? Yeah, so,
The Delian League with the Trump.
so remember, oh yeah. They said pizza dippers, is that right?
Pizza, but they do say lunch, they're probably gonna get the difference.
Okay, so
I'll take some pizza dippers.
it's, who's got B lunch? Anybody have B
yeah.
lunch there? Are you all A lunches?
Don't you have B lunch?
Your B lunch?
pizza dipper.
Okay, now, A lunch is pizza. Who wants that? Your A lunch.
I'll take one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Five eight lunches.
5A plus 2X equals 17.
Hey, Jay.
How many B?
So you want B lunch? 1 B lunch?
No, I'm not B lunch. I'm A lunch.
All right, just 1 B
I'm not trying to eat at 12:30.
One big lunch.
1 B lunch.
Oh, I feel bad for you.
Thank you.
No problem, thank you. Hey, all right, so this is gonna help form,
The Stealing League.
can anyone think of like a modern equivalent to this? Like something we might have today?
Justice League.
No.
The United Nations.
Yeah, the UN, United Nations.
NATO,
United
NATO,
States of America.
Yeah, North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
European Union.
Yeah, oh, well, yeah, you could say the European Union.
But it's not unified.
I think it's more, European Union's almost like a trade federation almost, where they have like regulatory agreements and stuff. Because it's almost a shared government, but it's almost like a federation, but it's almost not. They have
He's the
open
just.
borders.
Aristides the just.
They have, of course, a lot of them had open borders anyways, kind of, sort of, because we had some UN agreements that were allowed. Yeah, all right, so, yeah, the just, so he was uncorruptible, so.
And people literally hated him. Like there was that one guy who was like, I think he's a good guy. I just hate how people call him the just.
But when he comes back, remember, Themistocles is gone, he's going to be the leader of Athens, forms the Delian League.
So he does get ostracized, so just not in this chapter.
Yeah, that was in the prior chapter. So now, yeah, like you said, and your book said he had many opportunities to accept the bribes and things
But
like
he
that.
died poor.
Died poor, yeah. And we're gonna see other examples, people like later on, like next year, like Belisarius. He's a big general for the Eastern Roman Empire later. He's gonna be somebody similar in that way. So yeah, he's doing all of this because he wants to strengthen his city, and at the same time, he wants to weaken the Persians. He wants to protect the Greeks. And so, yeah, he's going to help, before his death, he's going to help strengthen his homeland. So,
Before death.
Yeah. yeah, prosperous. So, let's see, Timothy, do you remember anything about the Delian League?
He's leaving.
Timothy, you remember anything about the Delian League?
What?
Timothy, you remember anything about the Delian League?
It seemed more like a combination of an elite force.
Okay. What did they mainly focus on? Like
I
what?
don't remember exactly that part.
Like what kind of military? What kind of force? Hey, Jaden. Second one.
The
Stop.
Second warning. What am I getting the
I'm not
first one?
sure because I
Don't worry about it.
that
Because I. We talking about.
Mr. White Knight.
They
They took
protected
over
money.
the Persian Navy and they also took over the forts. So
That's right. So they had battles when they were doing this. What were you saying, Timothy?
They protected money.
Protecting money. Okay. Yeah. So
Banks. and
we're gonna say, yeah, it was mainly defended with the Navy. Now, all right, so it's money. How did they get money?
on the forts.
taking it from other people.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be just loot?
That just be taxes.
It was
That
a
too.
form of tax. Yeah, sometimes they got loot from the Persians, but yeah. So remember, this was a defensive agreement in Greece. And yeah, the small polis, the small cities, paid. And they paid to keep because navies are very expensive, paid money. And the bigger ones like Athens did what? Yeah, Athens built and manned ships because they figured that this would be a way to hold off Persia and end piracy. And by doing these things, it would increase trade and wealth for everybody. So people are like, wow, that's a really good idea. Like y'all were mentioning the UN and NATO. That's a lot of what America does now in agreement with our friendly countries. We keep down pirates and certain what you might call bad actor states, like big countries that might not be friendly to trade, try to prevent that. And so you might say countries like Iran or something like that. So we make sure that they try to behave when they're out in the water.
So we're basically a higher like protection.
Yeah, it's kind of like a police force in a way. But of course, the thing is that unlike them, at least we don't just take all their cash. We're going to see later that the Delian League is going to become an Athenian empire because they're actually going to conquer what used to be their friends. They're going to force them to give up people and money and do anything that they say. So it gets a little rough. And Sparta's going to watch this and get scared. And it's not because Sparta are like full of nice guys. It's because Spartans can't stand to not be in charge. So kind of cynical, but hey, whatever. All right, so Kimon. So what was he like? He kind of lived life like. Did your book mention that he didn't live like an Athenian? He lived like a
Spartan.
Yeah, he lived like a Spartan. Did your book say that?
No, but I just guessed.
Yeah. Live like a Spartan.
Acted like a Trojan.
No. All right, so live like a Spartan. And he's going to become Athens' best.
General.
Yeah, Athens' best general. And what's he going to do to the Persians?
Beat them.
Yeah.
Steal from
He's
them.
gonna. How many victories? 3 in a day.
Yeah. So 3 victories versus Persia in 1 day. So yeah, he lives life like a Spartan, a very austere life, simple. He
Like-
avoids pleasure,
Persia's
trains.
just like, sir, all of our students are here. Could you wait a minute? It's like,
And he was ostracized.
Yes, he got the momentum and he kept with that forward momentum. What were you saying, Timothy?
He was also ostracized.
yeah.
He will be ostracized. Let's
Yeah, because he
save
went
that
to
for
go
the
help
next
Sparta.
part here. Yeah. So, on that point, Sparta's revolt. What happened to Sparta that made the Helots and the Messenians revolt?
Earthquake.
Yeah. So, had a huge earthquake. Huh? Yes, it was bigly. It was a big brain earthquake.
Do
So-
we know how big it was?
It was big enough to level almost all the buildings,
We
but
said
I mean,
almost only
we didn't have
5
Richter scales and stuff back
Only
then.
5 houses.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
pretty deep.
and it's gonna level Sparta, and like we said, the Helots, that's their enslaved people, revolt. they're in trouble. They can't conquer a lot of these people. Again, they've been wounded. So who do they ask for help?
Athens.
Athens.
Yeah,
Athens are
like,
good at
dear
teaching.
Athens, we don't always like each other, but we're hurting here. Who did Athens send?
His chemo.
Yeah, Kimon.
chemo.
Athens sent its best, its greatest conqueror, sent Kimon and soldiers to help out because they were trying to help with the siege. Remember I told you before, Spartans, whenever their enemies were behind walls, Spartans couldn't really do anything other than sit there and wait. They didn't know how to build catapults or ballista and stuff. It can be, but it will make it last even longer, especially if there are people who've stored up years worth of food. They have a source of water inside the walls. They can
Yeah.
stay there a long time.
So
So
poison the water.
you can if you can get in, but if it's something like a well, tough luck.
Well, it comes from the African. Just have to find out.
What did the Spartans say to Kimon?
No,
No,
Yeah.
we don't need your help.
no, they still needed help. It was just that they were scared. Then they
Yeah,
took
they-
them over.
They accepted everybody else's help, but Athens, Sparta told Kimon to go home
How long is this?
Keep on to do what now?
out of fear. He told them to go home
Yeah,
because they were scared.
takes
And what happens to Kimon?
Just
Ostracized.
ostracized.
Yeah. The Athenians are like, you jerk, you talked us into this and then you embarrassed us. Get out of here.
He's just a good guy. Spartan was just
I don't remember how to spell ostracized. All right, I'm gonna try.
ostrich.
Yeah, ostracized.
It's OSTRACIZED.
Hey, I did it. All right, man. Got on back. Good me. All right. So, Athens rise to power. So, we have all these things in place. So, Aristides builds the Delian League. The Delian League is going to be very well funded with the Athenian leadership and a great big giant navy. Athens is going to totally wipe the floor with Persia. And we're going to see Sparta totally does not trust Athens. They're like, you guys are getting way too big and powerful. And they're weak and scared. And so what does Athens then do next?
They've used the Delian League to get them money.
Yeah. So,
They go on a murder spree.
well, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to accomplish this, Athens took total
Responsibility.
control of the league's navy. So they got the military. And cash. So they bring the treasury. That's all that gold donated from all their friends to Athens. And then Athens is going to do some stuff with that cash. I'm going to see tomorrow. But what's one thing that Athens does at home to try to make themselves even more powerful?
Kill everyone else.
No. They built something.
Oh, wall.
Yeah, they built even more walls. More big, beautiful walls. So they're going to have walls that are multiple walls to go to multiple ports in the ocean so that their navy is able to bring in food, use this powerful navy to attack anywhere they please, and all this stuff. So you could kind of think in their time period, like you could think of them having, like in modern terms, they would be the only one to have a powerful air force and a powerful navy and all this stuff in modern terms, while the rest of the world has like soldiers and stuff.
Are these walls still up?
Some of them are like the one I showed you a picture of, but a lot of it's torn down over time. A lot of it has to do with later generations would use the bricks and stuff like that for other purposes. There's gonna be kind of like battles later on in that area, like I think later on under the Ottomans and stuff like that. There is fighting in Greece during World War II, but I don't know if it was like, I never heard of it like destroying ruins and stuff like that. I'm really not sure. I don't know of any big bombing campaigns. They did have like paratrooper campaigns and stuff like that with the Nazis, but I'm not really sure. But in any case, when we come back tomorrow, we're going to talk about chapter 13. We're going to see a little bit about what's called the Age of Pericles, also known as the Golden Age of Athens, and all the good stuff. We will have a test next week. I'll tell you more about that later. See you later, kids.
Goodbye.
Good boy.